Welcome friends. Today we are going to continue with our chapter Principal Stresses. So in Principal Stresses, this is our second lecture. So in this lecture, we will try to understand about stress transformation. So in stress transformation, we would like to learn the variation of stresses with the variation of plane in the body. Stress transformation gives us the variation of stresses with change in position of plane. Suppose we have a body, as we change the location of planes in the body, there will be a variation of stresses. So if you take this particular plane, let me say plane 1, this plane 1 will have some value of normal stress and there will be some value of shear stress acting on this particular plane. Okay, if you say the horizontal line is a reference, so with respect to this horizontal line, as we change the value of theta, you will see that stresses are going to change with selection of different planes. So at all the planes you may be getting different values or some variation of stresses. So stress transformation talks about the variation of stresses with respect to the change in position of plane in the body. We have already studied about two types of stress systems. The one is three-dimensional stress system. So in three-dimensional stress system, the stresses are going to act all three-dimensional planes. And we also discussed about two-dimensional stress system. So please go through the previous lecture in which we have understood what is the meaning of two-dimensional and three-dimensional stress system. So the two-dimensional stress system is also called as plane stress system. Plane stresses. Okay. So we are going to consider a two-dimensional stress system, and here we would like to apply the stress transformation for two-dimensional stress system. We are learning stress transformation for two-dimensional stress system or plane stresses. This is what we would like to understand. Now, to understand stress transformation for two-dimensional stress system or for plane stresses, so consider this diagram. So it is basically a three-dimensional element. So on this three-dimensional element, we have only stresses acting on the side planes. So there is no stress acting on this front plane and back plane. That is why it is called as two-dimensional stress system. So we don't have any component of stress in the z direction. So if you look at here, there is a vertical plane A, B, C, D. On that plane, a stress of normal stress of sigma xx and shear stress of tau xy is acting. Similarly, on this horizontal plane, the normal stress sigma yy and shear stress tau yx is acting. Please remember, tau xy and tau yx are equal. They are called as complementary stresses. So tau xy is equal to tau yx. It is just for your understanding. Similarly, you will have same stress sigma xx and tau xy on this left vertical plane. Similarly, bottom horizontal plane also you have same stress, that is sigma yy and tau yx. The shear stresses acting on all planes are equal, that is tau xy or tau yx are equal. Okay. In the horizontal direction we will have sigma xx, in the vertical direction we have sigma yy. What we want to do here is, we wanted to find out the stress on inclined plane A, B, F, E. Okay. So in the stress transformation, we take an inclined plane at angle theta with the vertical reference plane. So we wanted to find out what are the stresses acting on this inclined plane. So there will be some normal stress acting on this inclined plane, sigma normal. There may be some shear stress acting on this inclined plane. So there will be normal and shear stresses are acting on this plane. The shear stresses you can call tau. So in stress transformation, we have to find the normal stress, which is called as sigma normal, and second we have to find what? The shear stress tau on the inclined plane. Inclined plane is also called as oblique plane. So this is our objective. So in stress transformation, basically our objective is to find out the stresses acting on a particular plane which is inclined at certain angle with the reference plane. So remember, this vertical plane is the reference plane. Now this diagram is a little bit complicated because it is drawn in 3 dimension. Even stress is acting in 2 dimension. We can simplify this diagram in 2 dimensional view. If I draw this diagram in 2 dimension, it is going to look like something like this. So it has On this plane we have normal stress. On this plane we have normal stress. Here we'll have normal stress. Here also we'll have normal stress. So these normal stresses are, this is acting in the x direction, sigma xx. This is also sigma xx. This is sigma y. This is also sigma y. We also have shear stresses acting. So on this plane we'll have shear stress like this. Here we'll have the shear stress in the opposite direction. Here we'll have shear stress in the counterclockwise direction to balance this clockwise shear stress, and here also we'll have the counterclockwise direction. So they are called as complementary shear stresses. Let me write down the values. This is acting on x plane, and then y direction. This is tau xy. This is tau yx, tau yx, and this is tau xy. This means just to tell you, this is your x direction and y direction. If you look at there, so like that we have the stresses. This is a plane stress system. So if we take a plane inclined at angle theta with the vertical plane like this. So our plane is inclined at angle theta with the vertical plane, right? So we would like to find out how much stresses are going to act on this plane. So we are interested to find out on this plane what is the value of normal stress acting and what is the value of shear stress. So what value of normal stress and what value of shear stress is acting on this inclined plane that I have shown here also. So, right? So to find out this, what we shall do is, we will take an element here. We will take a small portion of the element, what I will draw like this. Let me call this point as point A, this point as point E here, and let me call this point as point G. Okay. So I will consider this small portion of the body which is AEG. You can see here, this was A, this was E, inclined plane. So I will draw one construction point G here. I will take this element AEG. I will perform the equilibrium, condition of equilibrium, and will try to find out the value of normal stress and shear stress on inclined plane. So let's do it. So we have taken the element AEG here. This is A, this is E, and this corner is G. This is the inclined plane. So if you look at the previous diagram, this angle is theta, so obviously this angle is also going to be theta, alright. So we'll follow same thing. This angle is going to be theta, and this plane is going to have normal stress as well as shear stress. So let me draw the normal stress acting on this plane. This plane is going to experience a normal stress on it, and this will also experience a shear stress parallel to the plane like this. Let me name them. This is sigma normal and this is the shear stress on this plane. Okay. If I see the horizontal plane AG, then look at here the horizontal AG, this plane. So on this plane you have normal stress sigma y and shear stress tau yx. So let me draw that also. So on this plane you have a normal stress and you also have a shear stress, something like this. Okay. Similarly on this plane also, if you look, the vertical EG plane, you will have a normal stress sigma xs while shear stress tau xy. So let me draw that also. So you will be having on this plane normal stress as well as shear stress, right? So let me name all the stresses here. So here you have sigma y, this is tau yx, this is sigma xx, and this is nothing but tau xy. Okay. Now if you look at this whole situation, considering equilibrium of wedge shape element AEG. You can change the name if you find it a bit uncomfortable. You can use any name, okay? But since I have continued from the previous diagram, so I have taken element AEG. I am going to consider the element AEG under equilibrium condition, okay? Now one point we have to understand here, which is very important. That is, whatever I have shown here are the stresses, but we need to convert them into the forces. So to understand that, let's go to the previous diagram. If you see the vertical plane A, B, C, D, and the stress acting on it is sigma xx and tau xy. If I want to convert this sigma xx into force, then I will have to multiply this by area of A, B, C, D, right? So we must multiply with this area. So area of ABC is going to be the length of AD, vertical length, and the thickness. This is going to be the thickness we call thickness T, right? So it is AD times thickness. So what I am going to do is I am going to consider the thickness of wedge as 1. So that is called as unit thickness, okay? So note, considering equilibrium of wedge shape element ABC, and second point, let thickness of wedge is 1 unit. Whatever unit you take, I am taking 1 unit. So if it is thickness is 1 unit, so to get this particular area, simply if you multiply the length AD with thickness, that is 1, you will get the area, right? So in that case, since thickness is 1, you need not to bother about the thickness, simply you multiply by length AD, that you will get area. So area is nothing but AD, because AD into 1 is AD itself, right? So it means, what is the area of EA, this particular plane? EA into 1. So what I will do is, I will multiply this with EA. So this becomes the force now. Tau into EA again. So this becomes the force. Simply if you multiply by length, sigma YY into EA, this becomes the force into EA, right? Because into EA, okay, EA, this into EA we can do. If you see here, this length is EG. So if you see here, this length is GA. So we should multiply this by GA. Alright. And here also this is GA. So into GA. So now this particular length is EG. So into EG will come here. And this is into EG will come. Right. So we are now able to transform all the stresses into forces. Now the question is, we wanted to find sigma n, normal stress, and we wanted to find shear stress on this inclined plane. So what I will do is, I will resolve all the forces in the direction of sigma n and tau. That is the next point, very important. So resolving all the forces in direction of sigma n, that is normal stress on inclined plane, and shear stress tau. So these are two directions in which we wanted to resolve all the forces. So let's see how we can resolve them. This is parallel to the plane, this is perpendicular to the plane, like this we can resolve. Similarly here also, parallel to the plane, perpendicular to the plane, perpendicular to the plane, inclined plane, and the parallel to the plane. Okay, this also along the plane. So we are resolving all the stresses in direction like this. So now what about angle? If you see, the angle wise, this line and this line is parallel. This angle is theta, so this angle is also going to be theta, right? Now this angle and this angle are the same, because this is perpendicular, so obviously this angle is going to be theta here. Okay. Now if you look at here, this line is parallel to this line, this is parallel to this, so this angle is going to be theta, corresponding angle, and since this angle is theta, this angle will be theta. So we are able to, by geometry, we are able to generate the angles. Now I am going to resolve this. So it will be like this, and like this. Okay. So we are trying to resolve all these forces. Now this is sigma y GA. So this is theta and this is opposite side to theta. So you will see here, this one is going to be sigma yy GA and then sine theta times sine theta. Okay, and this is going to be this one, sigma yy GA cos theta. This side is because angle is made over here. Here also this side is opposite this angle, so this would be, this particular is going to be tau y x GA sine theta, and this one, this component is going to be tau yx GA cos theta. So we are able to get this as GA cos theta tau x, and this is going to be this component GA sine theta. Okay, now let us do the same thing here also. So this is sigma xx Eg. This is nothing, this one is going to be sigma xx, this is going to be sigma xx Eg, because angle is made in this, so it is cos theta. Similarly this one, this side is going, okay, and similarly this one is going to be, because theta is there and it is opposite, so this is going to be sigma xx Eg sine theta. So like we have to resolve all the components. This is tau xy Eg, so this is going to be tau xy Eg, angle is made with this side, so it is going to be cos theta, and here this is going to be tau xy Eg sine theta. So we are able to resolve all the components of these forces. Okay, now we are going to follow the equilibrium condition. So I am going to follow equilibrium in the direction of sigma normal. So by condition of equilibrium, so we are going to take two directions. One is in the direction of sigma normal. Okay, so summation of forces in normal direction I am taking, which is this direction. Let me call normal direction tangential direction. This is T direction. T means tangential direction and N means normal direction. So by condition of equilibrium, the summation of forces in the normal direction are 0. So let me see what are the forces in the normal direction. So first we have sigma n EA. Therefore sigma n times EA. So I am taking this as positive. So which force we have in this direction? So this is in the opposite direction, you can see, that is sigma y by GA sine theta, so it will be minus. So this is opposite to this, so it is negative. This is also opposite, this is tau yx GA cos theta. So minus tau yx GA cos theta. So I have taken this, what else we have? We have this also. So tau xy Eg sine theta, again minus Eg sine theta we have. For equilibrium, we don't consider these forces, the actual forces acting, we will take the component only, right? So I have taken this component in the normal direction, this is again opposite, and now this is sigma xx Eg cos theta, again minus, because it is again sigma normal, sigma xx times Eg, sigma xx Eg cos theta. Now all the forces in the normal direction we have considered. So this is positive, this is negative, this is negative, this is negative, this is negative, right? So you have taken all the forces and then that is equal to 0. We wanted to find out sigma normal, so all remaining quantities I am going to set towards right. Therefore sigma normal EA equals, now this is sigma xx and this is sigma yy. So I will take sigma xx, sigma yy together. So sigma xx Eg cos theta plus sigma yy GA sine theta, and you know that tau xy equal to tau yx. Okay, so we already know that since tau xy equal to tau yx, both are equal, both are complementary stresses to each other, so both values are equal. Just to you remember it right now. If you require, we can later on we can prove this also. It's very simple proof. For time being, just remember it. Both are complementary stresses. They are also known as complementary stresses. Okay. Timing, remember it like this. So we have got sigma xx, sigma yy, remaining is tau xy. I'll write only tau xy. So plus tau xy, Ga cos theta, Eg sin theta, plus tau xy, Ga cos theta plus Eg sin theta. Now, since we want to find sigma normal, so therefore sigma normal is going to be sigma xx Eg by Ea cos theta, sigma yy Ga by Ea sin theta, then tau xy Ga by Ea cos theta plus Eg by Ea sin theta. Now we need to be careful here. What is the value of Eg by Ea? So if you look at in this triangle, this is theta. So sin theta is going to be opposite, that is Ga by Ea. So you can write down that sin theta is nothing but Ga by Ea. This is the sin theta by geometry. And the cos theta is Eg by Ea. Ea is the hypotenuse. So cos theta is Eg by Ea. Okay. So if you look at here, Eg by Ea, this quantity is there. This will become cos theta. Ga by Ea, this is sin theta. So this quantity is going to become sin theta. Alright. Ga by Ea, this is again sin theta. And this is cos theta. So if I simplify this, so therefore you'll be getting sigma normal. Now this is cos and cos square theta. So you'll get sigma xx cos square theta, sigma yy sin square theta, tau xy. Now it is sin theta cos theta sin theta. So this will turn out to be 2 sin theta cos theta. So let's see, can we modify this particular term? So we have some trigonometric relationship that is very important. So we have, friends, 2 sin theta times cos theta equals sin 2 theta. These are trigonometric relations. And we also have cos square theta as 1 plus cos 2 theta divided by 2, and sin square theta as 1 minus cos 2 theta divided by 2. You can use this relationship here. So if you use this relationship and substitute here, what we shall get is interesting. Therefore, normal stress, I am going to substitute for cos square theta as 1 plus cos 2 theta by 2. Similarly, for sin square theta, we will put 1 minus cos 2 theta by 2. Then tau xy, this is going to be sin 2 theta. So if you further simplify this, normal stress on inclined plane is, so you can take sigma xx by 2, sigma xx by 2 cos 2 theta, sigma yy by 2 minus sigma yy by 2 cos 2 theta plus tau xy sin 2 theta. So simplify it further, sigma normal equals, now I'll take this and this together, it will become sigma xx, sigma yy by 2, and here you can see cos 2 theta is common, so you can say sigma xx minus sigma yy by 2 cos 2 theta and plus tau xy sin 2 theta. So we got a very important result here. The result is, therefore, the normal stress acting on an inclined plane, that is theta at angle theta, sigma normal, sigma xx plus sigma yy divided by 2 plus sigma xx minus sigma yy cos 2 theta plus tau xy sin 2 theta. This is a very important result we got. So we got the expression for normal stress acting on an inclined plane. Similarly, we will also try to find out the shear stress acting on an inclined plane. So I am going to consider again the same diagram and try to find out the shear stress. So now I wanted to find out the shear stress acting on this inclined plane. So again, I will take summation of forces along the tangential direction, that is shear direction. So considering by condition of equilibrium, summation of forces in the tangential direction is going to be 0. So let me take, so this is, I am going to take positive. So shear stress tau times EA is positive. Now this is also in the same direction, you can see. So the plus sigma xx into EG into sine theta. So whatever forces would come in the same direction, we will take them positive, and if it is in opposite direction, we will take negative, like this. So this is tau xy Eg cos theta is in opposite direction. So minus tau xy times Eg times cos theta is negative. So we have done this too. Now this is in the same direction of that. So plus tau yx times Ga sine theta. This is minus sigma y by Ga cos theta. And then we got this force, this force. So we are able to write down the equilibrium equation in the direction of shear stress, that is tangential direction. So what we shall get next point. So we will bring everything towards right except shear stress acting on the inclined plane. So it is shear stress EA equals, so I'll take sigma xx first, sigma xx Eg sine theta, then I'll take sigma yy, that becomes, if you look at here, it was plus, so it becomes minus, okay, and this was minus, so it becomes plus sigma yy Ga cos theta. Then again we know tau xy equal to what? Tau yx. This is known to us complementary stresses. So I'll use only tau xy. This is going to be plus tau xy. I'll take common. Going to be Eg cos theta, and this is going to Ga sin theta minus, because this will go on that side become negative. So this will become Ga sin theta. Right? It's very simple. We have to simply do the summation of forces in the tangential direction, which is T direction, this is normal direction. Okay. So let me simplify this. We want to find shear stress tau. So shear stress tau would be, if you look at here, minus sigma xx Eg divided by Ea sin theta plus sigma yy times Ga divided by Ea cos theta plus tau xy Eg by Ea cos theta minus Ga by Ea sin theta. Okay, so now we should see here, again we have already done it, that Eg by Ea is cos theta. This value is going to be cos theta. Ga by Ea is, so this is sin theta, Eg, this is again cos theta, and this is sin theta. If you put all these respective values, let's see what we get. So therefore the shear stress is going to be, this is going to be cos theta sin theta, right, and this is going to be sin theta cos theta. So minus sigma xx cos theta sin theta plus sigma yy sin theta, then cos theta, and this is plus tau xy cos square theta minus sin square theta, sin into sin, sin square theta. Very simple. So we'll do small arrangement here, because we know that, So we'll divide and multiply this by 2. So this is going to be 2 divided by 2. Here also 2 divided by 2. So the numerator is going to become, the numerator becomes sine 2 theta. This also becomes sine 2 theta. And remember, this is cos square theta minus sine square theta is cos 2 theta. Okay. So this is 2 sine theta cos theta is, this is basically sine 2 theta. Okay. So this is sine 2 theta, and this is cos 2 theta. So if I substitute, finally I'll get, so shear stress acting on inclined plane is, if you look at here, this is sine 2 theta, this is also sine 2 theta by 2, right? So sigma x by 2, sigma y by 2, so I'll write minus sigma xx minus sigma yy by 2 sine 2 theta plus tau xy cos 2 theta. So this is the expression for, shear stress acting on inclined plane, and this is the expression for normal stress acting on inclined plane, right? So we are able to find out the normal stress and shear stress acting on an inclined plane. So let me summarize this. First, let me show you the plane stress system, how it is going to be there. So we have a plane stress system like this. So if you take a plane inclined at angle theta in the anti-clockwise direction, the normal stress acting on this inclined plane is given by sigma normal, and the shear stress acting on this inclined plane is given by tau. So the expression for sigma normal and tau is given as, sigma normal is given as sum of direct stresses plus difference of direct stresses cos 2 theta, this theta is the angle, this angle, plus tau xy sine 2 theta. This is the normal stress, and you can also have shear stress. So shear stress is given by minus sigma xx minus sigma y by 2 into sine 2 theta plus tau xy cos 2 theta. So this is the summary of what is called as the stress transformation. So we are able to find out the stresses acting on this particular plane, which is inclined at an angle theta in the anti-clockwise sense with the reference vertical plane. Okay.